Everybody, welcome to day 2 of vocabulary. Remember, we're learning those 8 new words, and they all have to do with Mr. Tannen's tie trouble. I hope you enjoyed the story because that's one of my favorite stories about how he is so kind and he gives these ties to be auctioned off so that they can raise money for a new playground for the school. It sounds like something Mr. Tebow would do. All right, our first word was that verb, receive, receiving, received. This is a base word or a root word. It means to get something or be given something. Now listen to it in a sentence. I received a call from Mr. Tannen yesterday. Did you receive my invitation to my party in the mail? For some reason, my phone is not receiving calls today. All right. So it's not getting calls. You weren't given an invitation. You didn't get a call from Mr. Tannen. And then she says, I must say, I really felt quite distressed in not receiving an invitation. Ooh, I don't think I would not want to send her one. She looks like she could be pretty mean, huh? I love her movies. All right, next word. Chuckle. Chuckled, chuckling, chuckled, to laugh in a quiet way. I chuckled when I saw Mr. Tannen's funny tie. So a small, quiet laugh. Why were you chuckling when your friend fell down the stairs? Richie chuckled at Minnie's funny joke. All right. And he's one of my favorite cartoon characters because he's always given this little ornery, devious little chuckle when he laughs. Next word, account. That's the record of money being received or spent in a bank, usually. I have 2 accounts at the bank. I left out a word. I'll fix it. I have 2 accounts at the bank. Mr. Tannen put all of the money raised for the playground into one account. I withdrew $100 from my checking account today. All right, so it's that record of money being received or spent from your bank. Stare. Stare, staring, stared. To look at something for a long time. You can see Patrick kind of just staring off into space, okay, or actually staring off into water. My friends and I stared at the big pile of money. Why are you staring at the hammer in your hand? That's what he's doing. He's just kind of like, oh no. Everyone stared at Mr. Tannen's cool ties for sale. All right, so they just stopped and looked for a very long time. Budget, a plan on how to spend money you have. I bet if you ask mom and dad if they have a budget, they'll say yes. Why don't you do that today? Say, hey, mom and dad, do you have a budget that we use at home? And they'll probably say yes, because you have to know how much you spend so that you don't overspend. After we made our budget, we realized we couldn't afford the toys. So it wasn't in the budget. They have to pay the bills and the rent and the food and the gasoline first, and then you can play. Mr. Tannen checked the budget before spending any money on the playground. The new car is not part of my budget. All right? So it's a plan. Repeat, repeating, repeated. It's a verb. Drop the E, add the ing. You did it, or said it again. I am not going to repeat the directions again. Teachers do not like repeating the directions 25 times. Listen the first 2. And with me, I don't repeat them. After 2 times, you don't get it. I don't know what you do. So you better listen. And Mr. Young's the same way. I don't know about Miss Golda. But we're like, no, you listen the first time. Vera repeated the directions to her friend Ellie. Can you repeat the question? So it means to do it again or say it again. Disappoint is our base word. Disappointing, disappointed, to feel sad about something. I was disappointed that Mr. Young's class beat our class on the STAR test. They did. Because their kids all do their work and they do the tests. He was disappointed because he did not pass his math test. Please don't disappoint me again. Please don't make me feel sad again. You made me feel very sad that Mr. Young's class beat us on the STAR test. Because again, 100% of his kids do everything. Fund, an amount of money collected and used for a special purpose. We had $340 in our Continent Day fund. We put all the money we raised into our playground fund at the bank. We deposited $50 into our playground fund today. So it's money put into an account that you can only spend it for a certain thing. All right, so that's your words and sentences. I hope you play a couple of vocabulary games on Spelling City. And that's it for me this week. So have a great rest of your week.